Hey everybody, Frank Furley here. I'm here with Lenora Colarusso. She's an RN holistic health coach. How you doing today, Lenora?
I'm doing great. How's everybody out there? How are you?
Very good, very good.
Good.
How was your day today?
Very, very busy. I have
Very
very
busy.
busy Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I see, don't see a lot of people right now, but I do see a couple. And then, I do a lot of programs on the phone. So that's why I have these blue blocker glasses on.
Very
I
fancy.
don't, yeah, I don't need glasses. I actually got another pair today, a better quality one,
Uh-huh.
but I don't like the way they look on my face as much as these. But the other ones work better. I would recommend them. I was testing them out just to like be able to tell people, if they were beneficial. And honestly, I never had a problem sleeping or anything like that. But over time, you're looking at your computer and the phone, and everybody's doing it a lot more now with
Hmm.
the COVID. You got a lot of those rays. These are blue ray blockers, and over time, it takes a toll. It ages us more quickly. Macular degeneration with the eyes, with eyesight. But what I notice is more like when I forget to put them on when I'm watching any kind of Netflix at night. Um, I don't have as calm sleep. And I never had a real problem. I never had a problem with sleep, but I've noticed it. So I hone in on things. So I would recommend you guys all looking it up. Blue blockers, glasses. They don't have to be expensive, but just do your research.
Okay, great. Yeah, I've heard about it regarding sleep. That
Mhm.
put them on, before you go to sleep. Of course, I always hear about not watching any bright lights, and you shouldn't really be staring at screens before you want to go to sleep, right? But uh,
Yeah, no, but I use it just for when I'm looking right now. I'm looking at my phone for Zoom, and for my computer work, that's when I wear them, or the TV, because that's where you're going to get all your rays. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sure there's something for before bedtime, but I never really looked into it too deeply because my eyes, I take, we could talk about that on another podcast, a really good supplement. And I'm telling you, I don't need glasses. I'm 55 and don't need them for a close up or far away. And I believe this supplement really helps me. And you can get it in vegan form.
oh, great.
So we'll talk about it another time. But for now, let's do our thing because we
Okay,
don't have a lot of time today. Unfortunately, we had some glitches, but we
no
kind of got
problem.
it figured out, I think, right, Frank?
As an RN holistic health coach, tell me about that.
All right. Well, I am an RN. I'm a registered nurse, but I have a lot of titles, and I have 5 children. And every time I would say what I do, they would kind of make fun of me. Mom, you got to kind of combine it and say something shorter. So my holistic approach is with personal training. I'm a personal trainer for, oh God, 30 years, I want to say. Nutritional counselor. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a yoga teacher. Um, and yeah, so there were all these different, I'm an RN. So it was, I'm an RN, I'm a Reiki master, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a personal trainer, and it just blah, 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 blah. So I just shortened it to an RN holistic health coach, and
Mhm.
that's what I do. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. I like that title. It kind of I think it's very appropriate in this day and age. Holistic health and eating more organic, and it's clearly that's the route that we should all be heading, right?
Well, we could try, but you don't want to have it stress you out either. A lot of people cannot afford organic. So I would say just do the best you can,
Mm-hmm.
and bless your food before you eat it, and pray in whatever way you want, your higher power, God, whatever it is, to give you the best nutrients from that food
Hmm.
when you eat it, no matter what it is.
Okay.
So yeah, holistic is great, but some people just cannot afford it. So just do the best you can with,
And
whole foods, hopefully not made in a factory, fresh whole foods that come from the earth, is always your best bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And
Hmm.
I know you had recommended the raw bar to me, and I was able to try it. Do you want to tell us briefly about the raw bar and why you selected it?
Yeah. Now, I am not one of these people who would eat out of packages or anything like that. My food is very, very basic and pure and whole, but I'm on the run, like a lot of people are in this world. And Raw Bar Company, RAWR, asked me to be an ambassador of the company. I was searching for the most perfect bar there was, and that would give me the most protein and vegan. Um, Although I am not a vegan, but that's okay. We can, I don't eat meat,
Mhm.
and I eat very little. I eat eggs, but that's, some ghee and butter, but um, I try to get the most pure food that I can, most organic. Anyway, I looked for this bar. I wanted it to be vegan because there are a lot of people who are vegan, and I want to respect that. And I was vegan years back for about a year and a half. Um, but this was where I got to with this company. I researched high and low and found that it's not factory, it's a very small company owned by a husband and wife, very young, they're in their 30s. And they believe if you read their story, you can go to their page, you're going to post my page for them to order from if anybody wants to order them. It tells their story of how they got started. They're very passionate on helping the world.
Mhm.
So 10% of all their net proceeds go to children that are starving across the world. So that just drew me into them. They're just good people, honest people. If I write to them, they write me right back. Rachel and oh my God, her husband's name, Jake. Rachel and Jake. And they're just wonderful people. They give back. They're vegans, they believe in just love and sharing. And the only bar I don't particularly like, if you are going to order, is not my preference, but it might be for you. Raspberry is just not my preference, but everything else
Mhm.
is really good. There's not a lot of them. They're making new ones, new flavors, but I would say that if you're not into eating really healthy, you just got to be prepared because it's not made with any crap.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
all good, and people aren't prepared for that. So they open it and they expect a packaged bar made in a factory, and it will crumble a little bit. It's put
Mhm.
together by pure coconut oil, which is really good for your brain. It's made with pea protein. It's organic and vegan and raw. So it's really, really good. And it's good for you. And the macros are right on point, the fat, the protein, and the carbs. Um, the protein falls within, I think, 19 to 21 grams. And with a lot of my clients, protein is usually a very hard thing for them to get to where their numbers are supposed to be. So it's, like I said, it's really good just to throw in your purse, to
Mhm.
take on the go. I always have them with me,
That's
always.
great. I'm the same way. So I'm very. I had the chance to try it myself, and as just briefly, I met you on via social media, and I was very impressed with the training that you did, and what your strength and your abilities. And so I found out, that you do offer nutritional coaching for people, and also personal training. With the whole COVID thing and being virtual now. So you did talk to my wife, and my wife has been talking to you for a few weeks now, and she's really benefiting from it. So I can firsthand uh, tell you that the bars are great. The flavor that I tried so far is the mint chocolate, and I do recommend that you keep it refrigerated so it doesn't crumble. But
Right.
they taste really great refrigerated. But yeah, so firsthand, I can say that you're a great coach, and that the bars also are excellent. So it's
Okay,
kind of
thank
funny
you.
how
Thank you.
the world.
Yeah, and when we're out, people who are not educated with eating healthy are gonna drive through a drive-through. They're gonna, if you're hungry, you're not making the right decision. I don't care who you are. You're just not. Just your stomach takes over. You're not really being conscious, and you just will grab things.
Yeah.
So this is a really good thing to have on hand. I have to tell you, we'll get into this in another um, YouTube video, but I'm sure we'll get into our past and our stories and what led us to where we are and why we're so passionate about what we do. But I did have bulimia, and I have a lot of issues with my digestive system, and these are one of the few things that I can eat with no problem. There's no distress, there's no gas, there's no problem in my belly. There's been times where this is all I was able to eat all day. Like I'm on the run all day, and in the midst of training and before COVID, and I was always going. I had them always, and I'm telling you, and I believe in these 100%. I would never try to sell anything to anybody unless I believed in these 100%. If you told me to sell diet soda and gave me $1 billion, nope, I would not do it. I would not do it.
I had a check ready. I was going to write you a check, and now I'm going to take it back.
Nope. Okay, take it back. I cannot promote any like NutraSweet or anything. It's just my thing.
What about some of those natural sweeteners like the
stevia?
Not stevia. There's another one. It's called oh god. It's from. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I think Eva's using it.
Yeah, my wife.
It is monk.
Yes,
monk.
monk.
Yeah, you know what? That's pretty good. That's okay. It comes from real stuff. I'm talking about even you can get organic stevia, but I'm still a little leery about stevia. But definitely not aspartame or the sweet and low or anything. I have seen firsthand. Issues with that saccharin, yes, with people like memory, joint pain, stuff like that. I just would never promote it. Would just never would. But my point is, it's this. If we do these together, some YouTube channels, hopefully your audience will build some trust in me, and because I'm just another person, but. If you look at any of my social media, you will see that I live, eat, and breathe health and wellness. I definitely practice what I preach. I would never promote something that I didn't use myself, and that I didn't believe in. So I believe you're going to have my TikTok and all of that stuff.
I love your social media. You have great social media. It's
no, not really. I don't do a lot on Instagram and Facebook.
I know, but your TikTok videos are fantastic, and
they're pretty good. But
it's out there.
It's pretty good.
Most important.
No, that's right. I've never been one to have to promote myself ever, and I still don't really want to because I'm a very small little person. I don't do cookie cutter fitness programs or nutrition plans or anything like that. It's very individual. So for that reason, I'm only one person.
Right.
So there's not much, there's not many clients I can take, which is fine. That's the way I want my life to be. I don't want it to be crazy. If for some reason I get a huge following on TikTok, fine. But I am not looking to do anything crazy. I just want, if people want to work with me, that's fine. But education is really important. So this is great. I do a podcast with somebody from TikTok, and now I'm working with you, which is wonderful. And if people get any information about kindness and about eating a little healthier and doing some good for themselves, and my job is done, it's great. So,
and that's like I believe, and I know you do too, that kindness starts with yourself, because and of course eating healthy is being kind to yourself too. But if we don't take care of ourselves and we don't build up that energy that we can share with others, then there's nothing to give, right? It's like
Exactly.
if you're always just doing everything and you're exhausting yourself to do things for others, and you're stressing and stressing and stressing, and then you have at some point you're gonna run empty, right?
Right. And that is one part of the puzzle. It's huge. There's I think we spoke about this at one point, but there's all different aspects to that balance, that equilibrium in the body and the mind and the heart, right? So you work on your food, right? You do great with your food. You're high energy food and you're doing great, but then you're not working out and you're not taking care of your body and fitness and moving your body, which we all need. Okay. So even though your health is like, I mean, your eating is like on par and like it's awesome,
Mm-hmm.
if you are not doing something as far as movement for your body, it's not equal. The puzzle doesn't fit. And so your equilibrium is going to be thrown off. And at some point, it will take its toll in some way. You will get injured. So the other aspect also is stress reduction. So if you're not working on stress reduction, physical exercise, and your food intake, and they're all off kilter, and they're not like, you're not doing something for each one of those, at some point, your body, mind, and heart is going to backfire on you in some way. So that's what I try to educate, even when I do nutritional counseling. If you ask Eva, she'll probably tell you, I know everybody I talk to for that like half hour to an hour at the end of the week when we assess their diet, it's not just assessing their diet, it's a therapy session. It's like you're working on the mind too.
Right.
So that takes care of two parts of that puzzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're working on your stress and the mind and the brain and working on your food, you just got to get out there and move your body in some way.
Mm-hmm. And
some way.
Yeah, and when you move your body, of course, you're reducing the stress at the same time, right?
Of course, yeah. So there's a way to like have a walking meditation.
Yeah.
Type, if you like yoga, do type of yoga where you're moving. There's also yogas where I teach my restorative yoga and yin where you're really not moving, but that's important too. That brings down the nervous system, which is really important for stress. And I can go on and on. So
Okay.
right now, I think we just want to sort of introduce your audience to who we are. And
absolutely. And
so I think I said enough about me. I think you should say
enough
something
about me. Let's talk about me.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm joking. So,
but before that, married 33 years. I have 5 children. I have 2 grandchildren. I live, eat, and breathe health and wellness. And that's pretty much about me in a nutshell. So go ahead, take it over.
Oh, well, I think the thing that we share, the crossover is, a lot of things, but the kindness, the love, the compassion, the empathy, these are things that are so important. What I'm trying to do is really get more kindness out there in the world. We're all busy trying to keep up with the Joneses. There's a lot of stress in the world. People are not dealing with things that have happened to them, and people are angry, people are anxious, people are depressed. So what I'm trying to do is get more kindness and love out there, through the messages that I share and the information, and remind people, that sometimes just a smile to a stranger, or a thank you, or I hope you're doing okay. Slow things down a little bit, compassion, and that my whole message is stemming from love and compassion. And I'm not an expert in fitness and nutrition, but I do believe in self love and self care. So hopefully I continue learning from the experts like you in terms of fitness and nutrition. But I really believe that if you don't take care of yourself, something that we didn't say yet is with me, sleep is so huge. I noticed that when I don't get my sleep, everything breaks down. So if I'm exercising and I don't sleep, my body doesn't heal. So my joints start to hurt and everything. So I find for me, sleep is one of the most important things. In fact,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And that, and that stems from eating really well too. I mean, that you got to put those things together. If
mhm,
you're eating crappy, even, exercising, you don't want to exercise too close to bedtime. You're
yeah,
just going to rev yourself up. Although some people are very tired from working out right before bed and it helps them sleep. So you got to test that out for yourself. Everybody's different.
that's it.
But if you're eating really not good and not good energy food, you're not going to sleep well. You're
Yeah,
not. And you also want the environment, the temperature to be at the right temperature. You want it pretty cool, like 65. You want complete darkness. You don't want your phone around. You want it away somewhere. You don't even want a digital clock, no noise,
mhm,
no light at all.
yeah,
So, you just have to set it up and get
yeah,
the environment right.
and acclimate, and then you start reaping the benefits.
Of course, and even sleeping positions, I sleep on my back with hardly any pillow. You don't really want a pillow because you're gonna crouch your chin towards your chest. You really want to do that. I sleep with a satin pillow because my hair is kind of curly, kind of crazy. You're always gonna see it up, you guys, because it's just wild. But it keeps the curls not getting totally frizzy. The satin pillowcase, but it's pretty much flat, so my neck is not coming forward. And then I put underneath my neck like one of those pillow from the plane or whatever,
Yeah,
those round neck things. Put it
mhm,
under my neck, so my actually it's back. And then I put a bolster under my knees, so it takes the pressure off my back.
oh,
So
wow,
I sleep on my back, and
mhm,
I don't even move from that position. That's a really good position for any back pain or anything like that, or to avoid getting back pain. And
yeah,
then every once in a while, you want to turn over your mattress. You want to turn it, completely around so you're sleeping on a different spot.
right,
Don't underestimate that either if you have like back pain or anything like that.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I think so the balance, balance of all these things, I think, is so important, and I'm trying to learn more about that, and of course, practicing all these things is like the most important
Right.
thing, right? So, and it's okay to mess up. We had talked about, kind of controlling what you can, and then when the stress and anxiety and bad things happen, then if you have a good core of practice, then it minimizes the peak of effect on your body, mind, and soul, right? So whether
Right.
it's meditating or yoga or sleeping right or eating right or exercise, these are all things that we can control that will help us minimize the impact of emotional and traumatic experiences, right?
Right. You also want to be mindful of taking things very small, like make small little goals and not taking, burdening yourself with too much, because that is very stressful. Even all the healthy things out there, because there's a lot of healthy things you can do that, I would talk about, but you can't. Oh, I better try dry brushing or rebounding or doing this exercise or meditating or doing yoga or practicing yoga. That can be very stressful too. So you need to take a little bit at a time
Hmm.
and do that. Even with food, with the diet or whatever, you can't. Oh, I'm going to cut out sugar. I'm going to cut out bad carbs. I'm going to eat only good fat. I'm going to. No, it's too much. It's too much. Cut out one little thing, work on it. It's a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And especially with nutrition, you didn't get that way overnight. And you want to be able to eat like this for the rest of your life. I'm not a quick fix
Hmm.
pony kind of person where a diet, oh, as soon as I lose that weight, then I can eat this. No, I want to incorporate foods that you like, so it's something where you can stick with for the rest of your life, So you're not going to gain the weight back, or you're not going to go back to your old ways, because your taste buds are going to change and you're going to like the way you're eating. So everybody's different. So it's
Yeah,
very individual.
very true. And it's funny. I saw a video recently about micro uh, habit changes. Like going back to exactly what you're saying. So basically, you know, if you say to yourself, "Oh, I'm going to go out and run 5 miles," well, you know, if you haven't been running, just go out and run, you know, a half a mile the first week. Yeah,
If you haven't
or
run,
walk. Yeah, or walk.
you
But like
know, yeah.
they say that often when you're trying to implement these habits, often the first foot out the door, you know, will get you moving, and then you know, maybe instead of walking a mile, you walk a half mile, jog a half mile, or whatever you feel comfortable with. But micro changes, like you said, can help us change the habit, you know, and then it
Hmm.
becomes permanent, you know. So that's awesome. That's very important. You know, I try to do
Yeah.
that myself.
Yeah, and get that down before you tackle another goal that you want to get. You
Mhm.
know, just don't put too much on your plate because it might probably will backfire on you. You know, it just will be too much. It will be too stressful. Won't feel like it will be attainable, and people give up.
They do.
So make
Yeah.
very small goals.
Yeah. Sustainability is so important. And I definitely have, you know, from, you know, when I was younger and a runner, and now as I'm older, getting back into it again, I find it so sustainability is so important. Um,
Hmm.
like you can't make up, like, you know, let's say you stop running for 6 months. Well, you're not going to come right back and get it all back right away. You know, you have to just do it slowly. And, you know, the process, your body is designed to adapt and change, but not quickly. Another thing I saw that was interesting, like our bodies have been trained for thousands of years to crave fatty foods and sweet foods because there were famine and times of not having things. So our bodies literally are still trained to do that. So we have to kind of reverse that process, and sometimes it's not easy because we want to store fat because we still think there's famine, you know. So
Well, yeah, but I am my diet consists of pretty high good fat
right,
because that's for that reason. It keeps you full,
yeah,
you know, and it makes you feel satisfied. So if
exactly,
you're going to eat an avocado, which is I recommend to everybody because if you hopefully if you like it, it's the gold food. It's just
right.
it's such a good fat, good for
I
your
love
skin.
avocado.
It keeps you full, and you know that I make it a point to eat really good fat during the day because it makes you feel happy, makes you feel full.
Hmm.
And, you know, the low carb diets, I don't recommend, I'm not one to go to follow one diet. I tailor to whatever you guys like to eat, whatever, you know, that person likes to eat. But if you're on a really low carb diet, most of the time it backfires just because our body loves carbs. Our
Yeah,
brain likes carbs. It
sure.
likes sugar. So when I say carbs, I'm talking about what God put on the earth, like fruit. You know, I'm sorry, I don't think fruit is bad. You know, and you'll hear two sides to every story. Oh, this kind of fruit's okay, but this isn't. Well, if God put it on the earth, I'm gonna eat it,
Hmm.
you know, or vegetables, or you know, those are good carbs, you know. Sweet
Yep.
potato, you know,
Hmm.
some beans, you know, great. So
Yeah, it's the
I'm you
balance.
know, it's
Yeah.
all good real food that comes
Hmm.
from the earth.
Absolutely.
So yeah, when you're talking about carbs, you're talking about gummy worms and you know, you
Junk
know,
food, Skittles.
soda,
Yeah,
Skittles, stuff
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's like you said. If it, well, I mean, our bodies usually know what's good for us and what's not. Like a lot of foods are very bitter, and that's a sign that maybe that they're not, you know, uh, for us to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is great. I mean, I think we got a good overall understanding of who we are. We covered some nice topics today. You know,
Hmm.
hopefully on the next video, we'll have a little more time to go into more detail, and I'm excited to do that with you.
Yeah, me too. So I hope And you know what, you two people, if you have any questions that have to do with RN, holistic health coaching and anything that I discuss, drop them in the
Yeah.
comments, and maybe we can cover that on a future,
Okay, yeah,
right?
that's great. And again, I'll put below in the notes all of your contact information and social media and so forth, your website, and then they can reach out to you as well, which will be great.
Right.
All
So
right,
thank you so much, Frank.
it was
It was
fantastic.
wonderful that we finally did this because
I know
we've been both really busy. So
had a few minor
I
challenges, but it was where there's a will, there's a way. So we made it happen, and
oh
I'm very
yeah.
excited. So have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon.
Take care.
Namaste.
Be safe.
Take care.